Hello, hello, hello. It's that day, it's that time. Welcome, welcome. Now we do the awkward stare into the abyss while I talk to myself. And YouTube lets people know I'm live, and people stream in, and I sit here awkwardly staring at myself. You think that after all this time, I'd be used to this? I'm not. This part is always weird. Maybe because I never really know what to say. Ever. So, I'm just gonna sit here, continue working on my granny square until people stream in. And because StreamYard doesn't, my counter is wacky, I never know when there's people here. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait. Hi, Cammy. Hi, VJ. How are y'all? Let me know what you're working on, what you're sipping on. If you have any news, feel free to share it. You can't get on. Okay, stop. Come on, free knuckle, hop over. Yeah, you gotta put some PJs on, then you can actually be on screen. Hi. Say hi. Say bye. Hi. Hi. Okay, go. Bye. You can get me in trouble. I'll get you in trouble. Because you're not. Just go. Because I'm not. It's not that. You're not responsible. No. And not weird. Well, you are weird. Weird won't get you in trouble. Won't get me in trouble. Being weird. Your lack of clothing would. Now go. Ah, the child. I'm telling you, the things I have to explain to her. Child's waits on live to want to do this stuff too. And of course, there's my daughter checking in. Hang on. My daughter went to the store and actually gave me a couple of things. This was like an hour ago. She's just getting to me now. Of course, now that I've gone live, now she's getting back to me. Okay. What did I just do? Alright, sorry. It's a crazy day. Hi, Shatika. She's crocheting a Princess Tiana gown for a doll with the crown and a crocheted frog. I love it. That is so cool. DJ is weaving in ends on that red beanie. You left your notions pouch at home when I went to pick up Shorty. Don't you hate when you do that? Kimmy, don't they? I don't know if you've ever been to one of my lives, but she's a regular popper upper. She's in my lives a lot, but she just got out of the shower and she's not hasn't put her PJs on yet. So I was like, you can't be on screen without your PJs on. So I don't know if she's going to go put her pajamas on or what. But I don't know. I'm not putting my pajamas. Well, then you're not going to be on live. She just said she's not putting her pajamas on, so I told her she can't be on the live. Braid Master, hey girl, you're a rule breaker for sure. That does not surprise me in the least. Hi, Catherine. Catherine is crocheting a pearl plant with cotton sock yarn. what do you know about felting? I know that if you're using only certain wools felt better than others, and I guess the purer the wool, the better it felt. That's about as far as my knowledge of felting goes. I'm sure somebody else in here felt. Hey, it's not magic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you haven't already, let me know what you're working on, what you're sipping on, and if you have any news, feel free to share it. Okay, so it's not magic? Is your name Roberta? I try to keep up with people's names in comparison to their screen names, but I admittedly I am lousy at it, and I need to like start taking notes. Yeah, if you want the felt wool, it can't be like super washed or anything like that. And here's my daughter again. Hang on, they're out of our juice, of course. So unless you want something else, it's just for you. Sorry guys, hang on a second. Like I said, I sent her. She went to the store an hour ago. She's just getting back to me now. Okay, let's see. It's not magic. Okay, you are Roberta. Awesome. You have water by your side, and just put up a Pokemon doll. Okay, cool. Seems like everybody's like making dolls and amigurumi right now. It seems to be all the rage at the moment, which is interesting. And Brainmaster is drinking a cherry coke and making a flowy tank with unicorn from Hobie, of course. Someone who buys from Hobie more than I do. I didn't think that was possible. Let's see. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let us know what you're working on, what you're sipping on, and if you have any news, feel free to share it. Okay, so I had what was probably the most frustrating weekend creatively that I've probably had in years. Nothing I tried to do was working. And if you hear my dogs howling in the background, I apologize. There's something outside that is setting them off. I don't know what it is, but they're not happy about something. But something outside. Let's see. Okay, but you won't get upset if I don't remember. I appreciate that, Roberta, because I'm pretty bad at it. VJ is saying Catherine is telling Catherine that bag a day, Crystal. What? You can come in now, I guess. Crystal did a tutorial with a felted bag. It needs to be about 3 times larger than you want it. Wash with jeans. So watch bag a day. Yeah, it definitely takes quite a bit more wool to make the bag because once you felt it, it's going to obviously shrink. But yeah, I think if I remember, Catherine, didn't you just post about that on Facebook? Was it a dryer ball? I think. Oh, Cammy has wool to spin into yarn, and it has been my chat. I know. Hang on. And it has been carded and washed, so my wool could not be felted. Yeah. Your wool can be felted if it's not super washed wool. Okay, so now we're having a discussion about what wool can and can't be felted. Again, I've only like done it once or twice, so I am far from an expert. So I'll let y'all discuss that for a second because my daughter just texted me again. Creamery juice is $2.69 a bottle. Sorry, that's for the juice cocktail. Hi. And the granddaughter is back, in case you didn't notice that. Okay, let's see. Kathleen is saying, I'm drinking pumpkin spice tea and working on a 32 Market Street tea. What's a 32 Market Street tea? And finishing a pair of socks. What's upstairs? Huh? What's the noise? Is your dad here? Yeah. Oh. Mom dropped it off. Oh, I didn't know she dropped him off. Sorry, guys. One more thing. I swear it's my last interruption. You can't talk to me while she says that. Kiara said you can talk to her while I'm doing this. This will only just take me a second. I gotta send my daughter money. Nobody ever wants to talk to me or needs me to do anything until I want to go live. And then suddenly, everybody needs something. Everybody wants to talk. In my family, I mean. Not you guys. You guys, obviously, I'm expecting you to want to talk to me because, well, I scheduled just for us to talk. Okay, one more step. Except that S, her family. Yeah, these crazy people, the people attached to her. Come on. Okay, done. I promise. So, sorry. Roberta saying, can understand that Mocha just went through about a month of frustrating crochet. It has been insane. Every project that I've got like 3 or 4 projects that are like at various stages, and I was working on them. And first of all, I'm not inspired to work on them, so I put them aside. And then I fell down the rabbit hole that is planned pulling. I don't know if any of y'all do planned pulling, but it is both the most interesting and frustrating thing I've ever attempted in my life. And this is coming from someone who took 20 years to learn to knit, okay? Planned pooling makes knitting seem simple to me right now. But I am so fascinated by it. I keep attempting to do it and I keep failing and I keep getting frustrated. And you would think after being frustrated for an entire weekend, I would have like set it aside and done something else. No. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have gone through, I lost count how many skeins of variegated yarn that I have in my house, going off of the lists that I found of variegated yarns that are supposed to work. And I didn't realize I had this many variegated yarns in my stash. You don't realize how much variety of yarn you have till you go digging around, rooting around for something specific. And yeah. So I fell down that rabbit hole, and that's what I was working on, and I got frustrated, and then when I get frustrated and nothing else is working, I always fall back on my old trusty standby of granny squares. So I am now in between being frustrated with trying to get planned pooling to work. I'm making a granny square market bag.
That's why you always do that?
Yes. So, ridiculously frustrating all weekend. Catherine said, "Thank you, VJ. I made a dryer ball, and the outside was supposed to be Jacob wool, and it's supposed to be great for felting, but it didn't felt. The inside is Cascade Echo wool, and it felted. That's weird. I wonder why it didn't felt. Everybody saying hi.
Hi, Kathleen.
It's Catherine. Oh, yeah, Kathleen did. Oh, Catherine said hi, too.
Hi, Catherine.
Roberta is waving back. It's not magic.
Thank you, Roberta.
Let's see. Wait. My chat skipped. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out where I am. Oh, I wish. But no, because her mom is almost 31. So.
What do you mean she's way too young to have a grandkid? I was born in 2014.
2014? You mean 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Well, but see, your mom being 31 tops that. So. But yeah, she's 8. Her mom's 31. And VJ says that her aunt was a grandmother at 36. Oh, one of my best friends was a grandma at 36.
Catherine, I'm not working on anything right now, really.
Yes. Catherine asked Kiara what she was working on, and Kiara said she's not working on anything at the moment. Why aren't you working on anything at the moment?
I'm lazy.
Because you're lazy. Well, at least you're honest. It's by Tion Connaughton and fairly new pattern. Ah, okay, cool. It's funny when someone says you're too young or you don't look. I take it as a compliment, I guess. I get you don't look 70. I asked him what does 70 look like. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
She's 54.
You know, like when you were younger and like, you know, when you like say when you're 16 and you thought 40 was old. And when you got to 40 and you're like, this I don't feel like I thought I was going to feel when I was 16. You know, then you hit 50 and you're like, because even when I was 40, I'm not sure what I expected 50 to be.
Now you know.
But now I've passed 50 and I'm like, 40 is the new 30? I don't know. Or 50 is the new 40? 35? I don't, what are we calling it now? Braid was an aunt at 7 years old. Got some older siblings, do ya? My sister's 10 years older than me. She didn't have any kids, though. I watched Marley Bird's tutorial on planned pooling and said, no. Yeah. I've watched several of Marley Bird's planned pooling videos, and for some reason, I'm still intrigued. I want to figure this out. I think that's what it is. I don't like not knowing how to do something. It annoys me. So I am determined to figure out this whole planned pooling thing. It's just frustrating in the process. which is why I have a feeling I'm going to be making a lot of Granny Smith market bags. Or maybe I'll switch to a virus shawl. That's my other go-to when I'm frustrated. I make virus shawls. So, are you bored? Oh, okay. You sighed. I was like, are you bored? So, yeah. My entire weekend was basically me trying to do plan pooling and making granny squares when I got frustrated. Whole weekend. Um, didn't get much done back here because, well, the kids, after being sick all of last week, they're recovering and nobody really wants to do any heavy lifting or tugging or anything like that, and I kind of need their help to do it. So that's been tabled, which is okay because I really haven't felt like doing it anyway. It has to get done. Obviously, it's going to get done, just not right now. Um. So yeah, and when I wasn't working on either of those, I was enjoying my break from school. I got an A in my class, just so you know. I know you guys like to know that. Um, and I found out that my graduation date, the date of my graduation, I should say, is October 21st. I finish in August, but graduation isn't until October. And I just haphazardly mentioned it to Diva, and she was like, well, where is it? And I was like, it's in Indiana. And she's like, so it's at Purdue's campus? And I was like, yeah. She's like, so give me the deets. You know, where are you staying? What are the dates? And I was like, why? Are we going? She's like, well, yeah. And I was like, oh. Because I had kicked around going to my graduation. But I was like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. But she's determined to go. So I guess I'm planning on taking a trip to Indiana to go to my graduation. So I spent some time looking at hotels and deciding whether we were going to fly or drive and all that happy stuff. I did that this weekend too. So you're going too. Anyway, so that was my weekend. You heard us talking about it.
Is that beaches?
Huh? No, there's no beaches. You're going to the beach in August.
Yeah, but we're going to Indiana.
We're going to Indiana for my graduation. There are no beaches.
Wait, is Indiana far?
It's like that way a while.
Or can we fly?
No, we're not flying. I don't think. Oh, jeez. Anyway, in case you're wondering why she's hanging out with me, her as you know, her mom isn't here yet, so she's hanging out with me. Um, you like the one with the yellow and orange? This one? Yeah, I like that one too. It's all from this skein
Looks like a sunset.
of ice yards. Whoa. I am now in love with ice yards. It's washing out a little bit, but
it looks like lava coming out of a volcano.
So yeah, I'm loving ice yards right now. I got this, and I got my Picasso rainbow. So I've got big plans for it. But I really like this one because it's a 100% premium acrylic, but it's a very hardy, for lack of a better way of describing it, acrylic. It's definitely more. There's no like plastic feel to it at all, so I really like working with it. And it's all these. These are the ones that I've trimmed already. That's another one. What she's calling lava. What?
In case you guys are wondering what this is, it's my stuffy. Its name is Boxy Boo. So remember, like in your last live, I made that
Jack in the Box weird thing.
Yeah, the Jack in the Box, and then I just went wee. That's what this is.
Yeah, that's the real live version of the thing she made last week. Anyway.
That was like like 1 month, like 2 months ago.
Squares.
Oh yeah.
And I have these mini ones, which are going to be the sides of the bag.
Oh, cute. What if you can make a dice?
Oh, yeah, I could. Excuse me. So I'm at this point where I'm trimming the big squares so that I can sew the whole thing together. So I'm on like the downward spiral of the bag. So, what are you guys talking about? Roberta's saying her sister was 20 years older. I figured.
Ah, my toe.
Yeah, no chance for that here. I'm the baby. I was the baby too. Like I said, my sister's 10 years older than me. I'm experimenting making a crocheted bag with 2 solid granny squares for the front. How big are the squares?
Bye-bye.
Alright, her mom's home, so she's leaving now.
Bye.
Yeah, I want to know how big the squares are. I want to see it too. I will gladly show it off when I get it done. Cool. You have a shawl problem? Yeah, me too. I do a lot of shawls. Shawls and bags. Those are my 2 go-tos. Hats are close third, though. I'll make shawls and bags and trivets and hot plates. I make a lot of all of those. So yeah, so that's going to be a market bag. I'm still going to work on plan pooling. I'm going to order some pooling yarn because they actually make the actual yarn for it. So I'm going to order some of that and then see if I can't get that to work out. And then go from there, I guess. So anyway, my frustration over the weekend is what led to the topic for tonight. Whether or not you are a rule follower or a rule breaker. Because the one thing that I have figured out with plan pooling is that it breaks almost every rule in crochet. You can't have constant tension. It'll work. You may have to change your stitch in the middle of a row to get the colors to line up properly. Something you would never do in a regular crochet project. Sometimes you will need to chain 1 and turn. Sometimes you need to chain 2 or turn. Sometimes you need to chain 3 and turn just to get the colors to line up. It's all about lining up the colors. And whatever rule you have to break in crochet to get that to happen, you need to break it. You may change hook sizes 2 or 3 times in the same row. So I think that's also why it appeals to me because it just screams to my rebel heart. Because I'm one of those people that has no problem breaking a rule in crochet. Like I have several shawls where I literally change my one shawl, my Let It Flow summer shawl, for example. I use 3 different hook sizes in that shawl, so I have no problem with the whole changing your hook size in the middle of a project. But a lot of people, that's like blasphemy, and they would like have a heart attack and keel over if that were the case. So let me know: A, are you a rule breaker? Are you a rule follower? And if you are a rule breaker, what rule do you break on a consistent basis? If you're doing something other than plan pulling. If you're doing plan pulling, then that doesn't count because, like I said, that breaks like every rule of crochet. You've ever made a shawl? Well, what do you? What's your go-to crochet project? Kathleen is saying, "Pretty, maybe I'm wrong, but Bag of Day explained pooling with a bunch of small balls of yarn that had been a cake. She explained it as pooling pots you use on making your work look like puddles of paints." I don't know. I've never seen that video of hers. I know she's big on color control, so she will break up a cake so she can control how the colors flow in her outfit. Like the last shirt she just made, there's some serious color control in it. It's gorgeous. So let's see, Roberta, you made a Rihanna years ago. That's cool. Kathleen is a rule breaker. I'm not shocked. Rhoda does not like breaking rules. Okay. If I break rules, I feel guilty for days. Really? Depends on what rule I'm breaking. When it comes to crochet, if breaking a rule gets me the results I want, then I'm going to break that rule and keep it pushing and feel perfectly fine. Catherine saying, nope, not a rule breaker. Drives me nuts to not know if something is going to turn out. Yeah, but sometimes you have to break the rule to get things to turn out. BJ is saying she's a rule follower. Okay. Some rules are meant to be broken. I agree. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not going to break a rule until I've learned the rule and I've mastered it. But once I understand how it works and why it exists, then if breaking that rule is what will give me the result I want, then I'll break it. But I'm not going to break rules without knowing what they are first, if that makes sense. In order to break a rule, you have to know it. So, but I'll fudge my counts if it doesn't mess up the pattern. Well, yeah, that's an example. You're changing things in order to make things work. My go-to makes are amigurumi. I love creating little creatures, thus the bumblebees, which are adorable, by the way. Usually, the first time I make a pattern, I try to go by the pattern. Second time, I follow my notes about the pattern more than the pattern. Yeah, I'm the same way for the most part. If I'm making someone else's pattern, I'm going to follow the pattern because as a pattern designer myself, I know what a hassle it is to write a pattern. So I'm going to give the pattern designer the benefit of the doubt that they knew what they were doing, and I'm going to follow the pattern. Now, when I'm writing a pattern, I will break a rule if breaking that rule makes my vision come to life. And I'm sure there's probably some people out there that have bought my pattern. And they're like, she wants me to do what? Because like I said, my Let It Flow summer shawl, I keep pointing like it's back here again. It's not back here right now. Uses 3 different hook sizes. And I've had some people that told me that they thought it was awesome, and I had other people tell me, oh my God, I just couldn't do it. Now, mind you, you can make the shawl without changing the hook sizes, and it turns out fine. But it has a certain drape to it when you change the hook size, and that's what I was going for. Because I wanted to have like little folds in the back when you wear it, and I accomplished that with changing the hook size. But if you don't want the folds and you just want it to be a straight triangle shawl, then you can just use the same hook and work it, and it still looks great. I just like the little folds in the back. Pleats, that's what I was going for. Pleats. So Kathleen saying yes, net magic. I tried to even out. Roberta saying yes. I like the humblebees. That's cute. The humblebees, they are cute. And Catherine is saying, exactly, Kim, that makes a lot of sense. I will break them once I know why and how they work, but I do often rip out before I break a rule. Wait, what bumblebees? Roberta's profile pic. I'll pull up a comment. See the little bees? The humble bees. They're so cute. Catherine's like, oh, I love bumblebees. Yeah, I like bumblebees too. I like bees. Um, One of the happiest things that I did last summer, I was out on my back deck, and there was this poor little bee that just looked like it was just like exhausted. So I came in and filled like a little lid with some sugar water, and I set it out. And the little thing crawled over into the little lid, and it started drinking. And then he drank for a little while, and then he stepped away from it, and then he flew away. So I feel like I kind of did my little part for nature. So, so I think we're pretty much equal parts rule makers, rule followers, and rule breakers, which is interesting. Well, I think you should go ahead and write it then. If people keep asking for it, why not? Braymaster, I just hate counting stitches, especially when the rows are endless, so I will find a way to fix it. Yeah, I do that too. Um, as you can tell, there's always lots of distractions around me. So like if I'm like trying to like have to keep count of something, it's really hard. So I often find myself off by like a stitch or two, and I will just fudge that and not feel bad about it. I try not to do that with my commissioned pieces, but something I'm making for me or what have you, yeah, I'm gonna fudge it. Kathleen saying it's the same with cooking something new. Once I make it, my mind is already playing on what more and interesting to do with it. Catherine saying I had a wasp that would wait for me every morning to bring him a dish of sugar water. A wasp? You had a pet wasp? Those things are savage. The only thing a wasp would wait for me to do is to sting me so I could go in anaphylactic shock. A big red wasp. What did you name it? Because I know you named it. I think we've agreed we follow the rules but aren't averse to breaking so we don't have to frog. Yeah, I think most of us will pretty much do anything not to have to frog. I know I will. I will attempt any workarounds, what have you, if it means I don't have to frog, because I hate frogging. There are a few things I hate more than frogging. Wasps eat mosquitoes. Well, I'm glad they do something other than torture me. Wasp does not equal cute. I'm allergic to bees too. See, I'm not allergic to bees. I'm allergic to wasps, and they seem to know it, which is why they try to hunt me down. Kathleen's like, yes, they're very smart wasps. They're also savage. I don't think I named them. Really? You had a pet and you didn't name it? That seems to go against your nature a bit, Catherine. I'm kind of shocked by that. So, anyway, I'm definitely. I think that's why I started designing because when you're designing, you create the rules. I mean, obviously, there's traditional crochet rules that exist, but when you're designing something, you kind of have that latitude to like create a new rule or bend an old one or what have you. And you could say, it's my vision, you know, you see. In order to achieve my vision, I had to do XYZ. It's okay, you let it be wild and free. There you go. Oddly enough, I love getting stung. It evens out my heart AFib. By a wasp or a bee, or both, or anything. He was an outside pet. That's my problem. Mine want to come indoors. Catherine, you were so fun. Oh my goodness. Either. Okay. Well, see, getting stung by a bee doesn't bother me other than, ow, I got stung by a bee. Like I said, getting stung by a wasp is a problem because I am allergic. And those little cretins will stab you repeatedly. They're not happy just hitting you once. They will hit you repeatedly. And Roberta's asking Kathleen if you think it's the venom or the adrenaline it causes. That's a good question. Let's see. What else? Does anybody else here do planned pooling? I know VJ said she took one look at it and went nope. Noped out quick and in a hurry. And I understand that completely because I'm still shaking my head as to why I'm still trying to do it. Other than the fact that, like I said, I like a challenge and I don't like knowing how to do something. But has anybody else attempted it? Have you attempted it successfully? If so, got any tips? Help a girl out? Because your girl's struggling. I have watched at least 20 videos, tutorials on playing pooling, and it's just not working out. And like I said, I was shocked at the number of variegated yarns I had in my stash that would actually work with it. But supposedly, I haven't gotten any of them to work yet. I tried once. Pooling gave me a headache. Yeah, I can see that. The venom, it's often used for heart AFib and arrhythmias. Oh, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. I've never tried, but it looks interesting. See, I love how it looks, and I love the idea of the challenge of doing it. I just can't figure it out, and it's driving me crazy. So I've been struggling trying to figure it out. I want to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. I just haven't been successful so far. And like I said, I am going to order some actual pooling yarn, which is yarn that's literally made for planned pooling, and see if that helps. And then if that helps, then I can always circle back and try to use some of the other yarns once I actually have the whole process down. You know what I mean? I think that's the problem. I'm trying to get the process down while using yarns that are supposed to work, but you kind of have to tweak at times. And when you're trying to learn something, you don't really want to have to try to learn it and have to tweak at the same time because it can create frustration, as I found out over the weekend and today and yesterday and Monday. It's like corner to corner. I tried and quit because I tried when I had the flu. Now I can do corner to corner without thinking about it, so there's always hope for you. Yeah, I can see that. Corner to corner kind of was a challenge for me at first too, but I did finally figure it out. Now I can do it with no problem. So you're right. Also, I mean, like I said, I had been trying to knit for on and off for 20 years, but now I can actually, actually knit something. Nothing big, and I don't think I ever really get past um, the most basic stitches. But I can actually, I can knit, I can purl, I can knit and purl. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sure I'll plan pulling out eventually. It's just going to take time. Hopefully, not 20 years like knitting did. whose tutorials have I watched? Oh, good grief. Let's see, I've watched Marley Birds, like probably 5 or 6 of hers. Um, I'd have to pull up my playlist. Let me look real quick. If I can get into my history. Let me look. I really need to actually put an actual playlist together of playing pooling. Okay, it's not that one. I've got several tabs open here that have videos that I've been watching. Ugh, my sinuses are starting to drain. Isn't that great? No, not that one. Oh, I'm trying to find my playlist. Hang on. Hang with me. This is Marley Bird. And my computer's running slowly. Okay, yeah. Donna McIlvaney is one I've watched a lot of. Um, Stylecraft Yarns I've watched. Janelle's Crochet Therapy I've watched several of hers. Repeat Crafter Me I've watched several of hers. And it's Time for Yarn. That's another one. Those are the ones I've watched like multiples of. So, um, and that's another thing. Nobody really agrees on the same concept. It seems like they all kind of like they've tweaked how they start and how they count and stuff. So you kind of get sometimes you're getting some conflicting information, which just makes it worse. So probably gonna do what I normally do when I'm learning something. I'm gonna watch a bunch of people and then take pieces from one, pieces from another, and then when I figure it out, I'll tweak it so that it makes sense for me. And some of the problems I'm having is I think that it's another case of being left-handed trying to figure out something that a right-handed person is doing, and it because like part of it is you're supposed to go work diagonally, row by row, and obviously when you're right-handed you crochet right to left, whereas when you're left-handed you crochet left to right. And I think that might be throwing it off because I think I might actually have to look at the opposite diagonal. But again, I haven't between trying to figure out which way to go diagonally, trying to find a hook that's going to line up the colors properly, trying to find the right stitch that matches the yarn that I'm trying to use. There's a lot that goes into it and it's very frustrating. So I have found 0 videos for color pooling, plan pooling that are done by a left-handed crocheter. So yeah, it's a challenge. Marley Bird was confusing for me. For you, yeah. Some of the stuff she does confuse me a bit. I followed what she was saying, but a lot of her advice conflicts with what some of the other ones people are saying, and that's always problematic. Roberta saying, I was about to amigurumi and dolls too. Now I design my own. Yeah, true. There are a lot of things I do now that I was bad at when I started. Well, I think we're all bad at things when we first start. But after time and patience and persistence, you get a proficiency. And sometimes you even get like a mastery of it. Roberta saying, no. VJ is saying to Roberta, I understood it. It just doesn't flow. VJ, I understand. I tried making a fidget spinner, and it just felt wrong making that chain twist. I can't keep hearing about these fidget spinners, but I have yet to see one. So what do these crochet fidget spinners look like? Look, are you trying big at first or just simple scarf? No, I'm keeping it simple. I was just trying to do like one repeat. So yeah, scarf. And I figured if I could get a scarf down and do that a couple of times, then I might branch out into something bigger. But yeah, I'm just trying to do a scarf. Does Crochet Crowd have planned pooling? He does left-handed tutorials. I think I did see a planned pooling video from Crochet Crowd, but I don't think I've watched it because I was okay. One of my other frustrating moments of the weekend was trying to, because I like the herringbone pattern. Now, mind you, there's a herringbone stitch, and then there's the herringbone pattern. And I was watching Mikey try to figure out the herringbone pattern, and that wasn't working either. And I got frustrated with it. Uh, when I say I had a frustrating weekend creatively, I'm not joking. Nothing I wanted to do was working. Nothing. It was frustrating, to the least. Sounds like a pain in the butt, to be honest. Yeah, it is. And again, I don't know why I am so determined to figure it out and learn how to do it, but I am. So I have no one to blame for my frustration other than myself. But again, as actually we were talking about in VJ's live earlier, we just like to know how to do stuff. And this is something that I wanted to learn how to do. Look, there is a group, Random Acts of Crochet Kindness. They have a few different versions. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Roberta, I agree, fidgets are weird. For color pooling, for knitting, I liked Mr. Bobvin tutorial on pants. We're saying, VJ, I made one for my daughter's boss son who is autistic. He was my tester. Good Knit Kisses has left-handed planned pooling. Good Knit Kisses? I've never heard of that channel. I'll have to look that up. Thank you, VJ. You're so helpful. So, my plans for the rest of this week is to continue on my journey of trying to figure out planned pooling, finish this market bag, and probably start another one. Enjoy the rest of my break from school. Because, well, technically, classes started today, but I don't have class until Sunday. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm still on break till then. So, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my break. You know, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I won't remember random acts of crocheted kindness. Wow. Yes, I will. Because I'm familiar with the group. So, actually, I think I'm part of it. It's a group on Facebook, right? I'm pretty sure I'm a member. So you Googled planned pooling for left-handers? See, I searched on YouTube and didn't see that channel at all. I'm going to humor Roberta and write down both those names because although I'll remember random acts of crochet kindness, I won't remember good knit kisses. Although it's a very clever name. And just to prove to you, I did write it down. I'll look those up after our live ends and I've eaten dinner or snacked or whatever it is I'm going to do. Oh. Yeah, I wrote it down. Obviously, you saw that I wrote it down. Enjoy my free time. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm just spending a lot of it frustrated. But again, I have no one to blame but myself. Did you know there was a channel called Left Hand Crochet and Knit Tutorials? No, I didn't. I this stuff never comes up for me. I don't know if my algorithm is just so tweaked that it just doesn't register the left-handed part. Because I will Google or search on YouTube for left-handed fill in the blank, and sometimes I get hits and sometimes I don't. It's like my algorithm's like, you've been doing it like you're right-handed all this time. Why do you suddenly need left-handed stuff now? We are not showing you left-handed stuff now. It is not on our algorithm. Now you want to change your algorithm? That's like what YouTube's mocking me. But that's good to know. I will write that down too. Left hand crochet and knit tutorials. Well, that's like pretty on the nose. Just don't need to ask what their channel's about, huh? I Google YouTube is biased, which is weird considering doesn't Google own YouTube? But who knows? I swear Google is watching the house. If my son and thought Google's I get hits too, they probably are. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me in the least. They're not listening, watching, just waiting, lurking in the background. Because my daughter and I will be talking about something, and I'm like, well, let me look it up. And I type in like 3 letters, and the whole thing I'm looking for pops up. It's like, okay, what? That's not normal. That should not happen. And yet it does. Okay, so go break some rules or follow them if that's what you choose to do. I'm going to go and be frustrated a little longer. Nah, no, I'm not. I'm going to work on my market bag because I want to get it done. And then I'll get frustrated tomorrow. But I'm glad you guys stopped by and spent this last hour with me. It was awesome. VJ, I swear I feel like I'm stealing your outro. Not my intent, but it just I guess it's that same brain thing we've been talking about. You know? But you guys could have spent this hour anywhere else, but you chose to spend it here, and I do appreciate that more than you know. I'm still trying to work my way up to 500 subscribers, and when I hit that, there will be a giveaway. So tell your friends let them know that when I hit 500, there will be a giveaway. So let them come and subscribe and come join the craziness that is my channel. I do this live every Wednesday. I do Management Monday live Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I put out a periodic video or two when I actually have a chance to film one. Uh, let's see, what's the word saying? I've seen a lot of fishing hits, so I know it's spring. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of gardening stuff too. Thank you for good luck on pooling. Thank you. Oh yes, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already hit it. I appreciate that. And if you are new here and you hadn't subscribed before, and you think you might enjoy hanging out with me more often, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you know when I go live and when I do post that periodic video. um, the Management Monday videos are basically just little tips and tricks for people that are running their own little cottage businesses. Um, Again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, but I am just a chick that owned her own business for 20 plus years. And as part of that business, I did a lot of freelance writing on small business interests, like how to start a business, how to maintain a business, how to do inventory, marketing, you name it. And I'm just passing that information along to my fellow yarny people who are trying to make a go of some sort of craft business. So that's what we talk about on Monday. And as you know, Wednesday is kind of a free for all. Sometimes I have a topic, sometimes I don't. Just depends on what I have seen or experienced the week prior. So, you know how that works. VJ saying, I've been sitting here wondering who came up with that first. I don't know. I think we kind of combined ours because I had been saying I appreciate you guys coming here. You could have, or something to that effect, and you said it too. So I think it's kind of a combination of both of us. I don't know. It's just sincere either way. So you guys could have been doing anything. You guys could have been crocheting. You could have been watching somebody else. You could have been doing cartwheels out in the backyard. But you chose to spend an hour with me, and I am greatly appreciative of that. So, Roberta, I'm glad that you stayed up and hung out with us. And thank you. I'm glad you thought I was fun. I appreciate that. I try. Um, and I agree with VJ. Glad you were here. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go because now I'm just rambling. Of course you do, VJ. I'm telling you, we've got the same brain thing, and it really wouldn't surprise me to find out we're related. It really wouldn't surprise me at all. So I'm going to go because my daughter is making something that smells really good for dinner. So I'm going to go see what she's up to, and I'm going to go back to my market bag, and eventually I'll go back to being frustrated. But hopefully I will succeed at this whole plain pulling thing. So I will see you guys in the Yarny community on YouTube, and if I don't see you in a chat somewhere, I'll see y'all on either Management Monday or back here same time next week. So take care, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.